Today, I want to talk about how the media portrays women, especially over 50, as being past our use-by date, and how this actually makes us feel. Hi there, I'm Leslie Maxwell, your very own BYSB coach. I'll show you how to get rid of the self-doubt, negative thoughts and anxiety about aging. And together on this channel, we're going to bring your sexy back. It is a pet peeve of mine, honestly. The message we're always seeing from the ads for women over 50 especially is we should get ready for retirement, act conservatively and even look a certain way. Like we've given up on our goals and it's all downhill from here. Well, it's not. It's time we fight back. So why does the media think we're past our use-by date when we reach the magic 50? How does it make us actually feel and act when we see these movies and ads? Like, everything starts in our thoughts, so it's not a good thing for us to see these negative images all the time. Is this really meant to be the path we must follow? Or can we turn it all around? Well, I say yes. Most of the ads of the age group are a bit depressing, I think. Let's take a look. We've got retirement plans. Oh, they're not too good, are they? A funeral plan, creams for aches and pains like arthritis or a sore back. Look, I'm not saying these problems don't exist in some people, but we can strengthen our back and alleviate arthritis from eating and training a certain way. It's just that we're always portrayed as old or breaking down, and I don't like that. So let's take charge. And some other ads could be something like calcium or vitamin tablets promising to strengthen weak bones, putting messages out there that it's normal to have weak bones. Well, why don't they put ads with someone doing a nice exercise with strong and fit and healthy? Look, our bones do need strengthening, but we can't rely on a vitamin tablet for that. There's so much we can do, like training a certain way, but I'm going to share that with you on another video after this. But then the other ads are something like retirement homes, and they sort of give the illusion that we no longer have a vision or have goals or dreams. In other words, we've lost our spark. They're just usually sitting there in the ads. I know they're smiling and enjoying each other, but they're playing bowls maybe or something like that. I suppose what I'm trying to say is there's nothing much with a future or a challenge. It's like we're all supposed to have everything done by now. And the movies, well, look, I don't mean to sound negative or anything myself, but they usually include men with much younger wives or girlfriends, or some of them do. And usually the ones sort of our age are dressed conservatively or maybe dowdy, except for, which was one I saw, oh, that's right, J-Lo in Hustler, and that was really funny, wasn't it? That was a bit of fun. Anyway, so how did we get here? I think it's because we're taught from an early age that we're a victim of our hormones, that they're out of control. There's nothing in our control and we can't do a single thing. So, but this is how I look at it. Until we reach 50, we've barely had time for ourselves. Often we've been run off our feet, raising a family, usually a career as well, juggling work and family, social engagements. We feel like we're an important part of society and others are interested in us and they want to hear what we have to say. And all of a sudden, our roles change. Our children leave the home. I think the term they use is empty nesters, and I think that sounds really sad. But actually, I've got 3 children and they left home, and I know I felt really out of sorts when the last child left home, and my life had really changed. I couldn't put my finger on what the problem was and why I was feeling lost. And I wasn't expecting this. But what are we supposed to do with our lives now? And when my children have partners, that was something new as well. I really learned to take a back seat, and we sort of do, so our roles really change. And I don't want to interfere with my, kids' partners or feel like I'm interrupting if I call them or whatever, but maybe that's just me. But then there's the articles from so-called experts, like fashion experts, that complain. They say things like, women over 40 or 50 shouldn't wear a bikini or a short skirt or high shoes or even keep our long hair, like it's time to be sensible. Really? I remember feeling like I'd lost my identity. That's what it was actually. Fear of the unknown. What was I supposed to do? What was supposed to happen next? So just wondering though, what's your internal view of yourself now? How do you see you at this age? Like, how are you? Are you feeling sexy, feminine, truly alive and happy from within? Are you feeling sexy, or are you feeling a little scared like I was? I don't know what to think next. Maybe I was even a little anxious. You know, like I said before, our mind is so strong. Everything begins in our mind. So if we start to feel anxious and that we're out of sorts and don't fit in, that's how we are. What we think, we become. And I know you can change your body too, and health, if that's your goal. And you can change how you feel about yourself. Plus, you can change your attitude and get your sexy back. So having a healthy, strong body gives us confidence that our body isn't going to fall apart and that we can take charge of our own health, as well as looking good. There's nothing more scary than thinking we may lose our health too. So all looks aside, I mean, it's great to say we want to get our sexy back. I'm going to just swirl on this chair. But we also need our health, and that comes sort of hand in hand. And I feel once we take charge and understand that we do have choice, once we know that our body can and will change depending how we treat it, and once we understand that we can really become ageless, then our life begins to change. And that is exciting. So, can we reverse the aging process? I'm telling you that we can, and I've done it myself. Before I tell you my story, I'll share with you a couple of stories that women have confided in with me. So, you know, I work in a gym and I train lots of people one-on-one. I get to hear all the gossip. And one of the lovely ladies I train, she told me she went to a concert and she was saying how much she enjoyed it. It was really moving and heartfelt and beautiful. And then she said, there was a song she heard on there and it would make a lovely funeral song. I couldn't believe what I was hearing for a moment. Surely I'm not the only one who'd be surprised by this comment. That in your mind you're thinking of the end. It's so sad. And another example was when I was invited to a younger person's wedding. Now you know who you are. And she said, show up, shut up and wear beige. And I was flabbergasted. In other words, that means be invisible. And that's how we start to feel. I'm often teased by friends and family about photos I post on social media. Sorry guys, bikini or whatever, flirtatious, but I can't help myself. I just press the button and it says send, and I love pushing the boundaries and proving that we can have a feminine fit body at any age, and you can too. So I know it's not all about appearance, and I'd be the first person to say health is the main thing, but when we have great health and the body responds with looking a certain way, it's just a side effect. And then you feel strong without aches and pains. When your body is responding and acting like a much younger body, then this gives you the confidence and belief that we have control how we look and feel. And then things begin to look up. And I'll tell you a bit about my story. I felt less confident with my body and older when I was 30 than I do now. Isn't that hilarious? And that's a fact. I was softer, not near as much lean body tissue. My triceps were softer. I had asthma. I consistently carried an asthma pump. And then in my 40s, I remember I was hospitalized with pneumonia. And my husband at the time once said, I looked frail. Frail? What the? Anyway, I was weak. I did feel weak all the time. And I had low blood sugar levels. They left me feeling with no energy and feeling flat. No energy. Sometimes I felt bloated, yes, depending what I ate, because I didn't know how to eat properly. And I tried so many types of training, including classes back in the day, jogging, women's only gyms, pushing out air on those hydraulic machines, which isn't really the way to do it because that's what they do for women, but there's a much more efficient way. I've even tried sorts of dieting, including vegan, vegetarian, low calorie, you know, calories in, calories out. The works. And I knew there had to be something more out there. And here's how I turned it around. So when I was 49 years old, after being inspired by a documentary about body sculpting, I decided to compete for the very first time at 49. I was too nervous to tell my family and friends in case they thought I'd gone nuts. Just the thought of me standing with my backside, it was actually G-strings in them, wearing a teeny tiny G-string had me freaking out. And would you believe the competition was on a Mother's Day? I couldn't believe that. I was guilty already, feeling so bad not doing the Mother's Day for the first time in my life. I was sort of embarrassed that I'd put my family aside to do this big competition thing. And they think I might be ridiculous stepping on the stage, tanned up, you know, like a bronze goddess. Would they be thinking I was going through a midlife crisis? Maybe I was, but that was how I took charge of my life for some reason. And the hardest part of the day was thinking, what would they all think on Mother's Day, me not there, being on that stage? But I pushed through the boundaries and I won my first competition. Anyway, turned out that my kids were very proud of me, and my friends either accepted or not, maybe thought I was mad, I don't care, but I just took charge and I decided it was their problem if they didn't like it. So I'd finally had my first taste of truly doing as I pleased. Sometimes putting up with well-meaning people trying to throw me off track, because people do that. They want you to stay where you are. But I found my sexy through that process, not just physically, but mentally too. And I developed an inner strength and confidence that my body won't let me down as long as I treat it right. That's the secret. I went on to compete so many other times. I did win over 30 competitions, including world titles in open divisions. And for the record, I used to like competing in the open age groups too, which was fun, because I was determined to prove that age is a number and our bodies will respond and our mind responds, and people can have to accept that we do as we please. So I know at this age it's hard to sort of break out and do something different, but it feels great. But next time you see an ad or movie that has negative messages that gets you down, say, that was then, but this is now, because you've taken charge. In this topic, and what I'm all about on this channel is resonating with you. It really helps to build this community. If you click, like, comment your thoughts, share it to your networks, and let's all get our sexy back and subscribe. And don't forget to look after your beautiful self, because you deserve nothing less. You deserve it all. Mwah.